Millicent says my main problem is that I don't have a focus in life. That's not all though. She also says I'm easily led, that I say yes when I really mean no, that I don't finish what I start, that I don't think laterally or literally, and that I don't stand up to be counted. Save the tuna!
Good morning,
Millicent and her mum stand up to be counted for practically everything. Save the forest, save the suburbs, save our water, save our compost. But most of all, they stand up for truth and honesty. Millicent makes a point of being honest every day, the same as her mum. Millicent's mum is pretty honest, all right. When she saw my dad's new shirt, she said he should join them in their quest to save the endangered pot-bellied butterfly, since he looked like one. My dad said he didn't care about butterflies, and then they didn't speak to each other again.
I made the Thesaurus. How come do you reckon we have two eyes but only one mouth?
I never thought about
We
it.
could see just as well with one eye, but if we had two mouths instead, we could cut our eating time by half. We could eat and talk at the same time. Can you imagine that?
Hey, Thesaurus.
Hi, Millicent. Hey, Molly.
I need to talk to you.
Don't you have any friends you can annoy?
None that I have to hold on to by the neck to stop them from running away.
Thesaurus can leave any time he wants. He just doesn't want to. Tell her, Thesaurus.
Well, it's kind of getting hard to breathe.
See you strangling him. Come on, Thesaurus. Let's go. We've got business to talk about.
But me...
Come on, let's go. You've got to come with me now.
Go ahead. Please yourself. There's plenty more of you where you came from.
Ow! Ignore it, Thesaurus. Remember, I'm your only hope out of here. This is it. This is the future, Thesaurus. In 10 years, there's not going to be any more than a handful of men left, except for one or two, to take the rubbish bins out and drain the engine oil from cars.
What's going to happen to them?
Remember what happened to the dinosaurs? A meteor. Total annihilation. Stick with me, Thesaurus. I can make sure you're one of the survivors.
Draining engine oil? If that's all I'm going to do, I don't really want to be one of the survivors.
And putting rubbish out. You've got to face it, Thesaurus. Girls are 60% smarter than boys. Add to the fact that I'm smarter than the average girl. And how lucky are you that I discovered you?
Pretty lucky, I guess.
Very lucky. That's why we've all decided to give you a test.
What kind of test?
A worthiness test. You've got 24 hours to learn the names of 10 great women of the 20th century. This is your chance to prove that you're an emancipated male. Don't let me down, Thesaurus.
Thesaurus! My mum told me to give this to you. It's from the tuck shop.
I don't need another lunch.
That one's nicer, dum-dum. My mum made it for you because she likes your dad and wants to impress you. But don't get any ideas. Me and my mum don't need anyone.
I don't need another lunch either.
Take it back then. See if I care.
Don't worry, Thesaurus. Your dad's stupid, but he's not stupid enough to hook up with Avril's mum.
I heard what you said.
What? Oh, that Thesaurus's dad is stupid?
To hook up with my mum. That's a rotten thing to say.
That's not what I said. I said he's much too stupid for your mum because your mum is so smart and beautiful. She doesn't need someone like Thesaurus's dad.
That's right.
That's what I said.
Good.
Some people really need to get their ears syringed.
It's nice, just the two of us, isn't it? It's quieter, too, since your dad moved out.
I guess so. Do you think he'll be moving back in?
Your father is going through an identity crisis at the moment.
What's an identity crisis?
When men turn 40, they get a sudden urge to have hair grafts and buy a second-hand sports car.
And eat sticky buns.
What's that? What about sticky buns?
Nothing.
Hey, Thesaurus, come sit with us. Okay, Thesaurus, the time is up.
What?
The 24 hours I gave you to do your test. 10 great women of the 20th century.
Oh, yeah. Number one's Aunt Gladys.
Who's Aunt Gladys?
She's my aunt. She found a sick greyhound and she took it into the animal hospital and stayed with it all night to make sure it was okay.
What happened to the dog?
It died. It was the thought that counts.
Next.
Dot, the crossing supervisor. I figured out she crosses the road 186 times a day. Multiply that by 5 days a week is the total loss.
It's not supposed to be people you know, Thesaurus. Think of heroes like Amelia Earhart and no more family or friends.
Okay. Well, there was this one time, me and Dusting went to the pie shop on Anderson Street. He had a steak and kidney and I had a shepherd's pie with sauce. But then we realised we didn't have any money. So the lady standing next to us said she'd pay for it.
No! No, wrong! Why do I bother? I don't know. You don't listen. You don't even try to improve yourself. All this time you've been spending with Dusting has turned your brain into a sandbag.
Just because I don't do what you want me to do doesn't mean I have a sandbag for a brain. And maybe I don't think laterally, and it's not just because I don't know what it means. Maybe I don't want to. And maybe I do say yes when I really mean no, but at least I'm not bossy.
Bossy?
And you never listen to what anyone else has to say. And you never say that you're sorry. And you're wrong about my dad. He is stupid enough to hook up with April's mum.
What are you doing here?
Nothing, just standing.
Shouldn't you be over there looking at dress patterns?
I don't want to sit with the girls anymore.
Too bad.
Did you get down to the refinery last night? I guess I missed a bunch.
26 tracks, 14 max and 1 squashed rat.
I've got a lamington
No big deal.
and roast peanuts.
You're lucky I care.
You okay, Millicent?
Of course I'm okay.
You don't seem okay. Looked like the Thesaurus almost made you cry.
He said some bad things. Who cares about Thesaurus? Maybe he just said what he felt. I've forgotten it already.
I haven't. Lucky I memorized it. He said you were bossy and that you never listen to what anybody else says. And you never admit you're sorry and some other things too. But they were the main things.
In 10 years, they'll all be gone anyway. I'm none of those things. I'm kind and thoughtful and considerate. And how can I say that I'm wrong when I never am? I'll prove it to him. I'll show Thesaurus, and I know how. Hello, everybody. What are you doing here, Dusting?
I was on my way back from getting my boil lance and I saw a crowd.
Gross. Where was I? I've called you all here today because I want to talk about a really important subject. It's about me. I was picked on and called names and told that I was bossy and that I didn't listen to anyone by a certain person here. I won't mention who, but his initials are R.T.
Oh, boy.
I've decided it's time to prove who's right and who's wrong. I'm going to conduct a poll.
What kind of a poll?
A poll to decide if I'm a nice person or not. Each of you get a piece of paper to write down all my faults, and then I'll collect them tomorrow.
Where's mine?
You don't count.
I can't think of any faults, Millicent.
I don't think you're bossy.
And you always listen to me.
I think you're perfect, Millicent.
I can give you more if you like.
I don't want any more.
Remember, don't put your names on them, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow lunchtime. Bye, everybody.
That was kind of mean of you, what you said about Millicent.
I was just saying what was on my mind.
You can be really cruel sometimes, Thesaurus. Good luck trying to sleep tonight.
Do you like it? It's a new recipe.
Yeah.
You can tell me the truth now. You don't have to protect me. I'm an adult.
It's kind of chewy, and it hurts my jaw, and it needs sauce. But the chewing's cleared my ears, and it tastes great.
I'll have to cook it again then.
Millicent is stupid pen.
Roger, time for bed.
Yes, Mum.
Hey, Gilbert. I bought you something. I got you a fly for your collection.
Thanks, but I've got plenty of flies.
Please yourself. I'll leave it here in case you change your mind. Say, you know what I like most about Millicent?
I don't think you like anything about Millicent.
Well, maybe it's just one thing. The way she's always trying to make herself better. It's like this test she's got everyone doing.
The poem.
Yeah, that's it. You see, some people would think they're doing a favour to say nothing but nice things about her, but that's not what she wants. She really wants people to tell her the truth, or the bad things. That way she can improve herself.
I can't think of any bad things that Millicent has done.
I can.
It's hard to think of a nicer person. Except Avril, of course.
Remember her fancy dress birthday party last year?
No.
It's probably because you weren't invited. Max was invited. So was his dog. But I guess if his dog couldn't have made it, then it would have been all right for you to go along.
Max's dog got an invitation.
See you around, Gilbert.
Bye.
How many you got to go?
Only 300 or so.
You better watch out you don't wear out your arm so you can't write down all Millicent's faults.
Ah, that's all right. I'll only be writing nice things about her anyway.
I guess it's lucky fish don't know how to write.
Fish? What fish?
Those two fish you brought in for show and tell a couple of weeks ago.
You mean Jared and Sandra?
I bet they'd want to write something, especially after Millicent's tortoise ate them. That is, if they were still alive. But who cares about a couple of fish anyway?
Yeah. All I've got left now is a sea snail.
You should bring that in. I bet Millicent's tortoise will want to eat that too. And remember that time your softball team won the inter-school tournament and Millicent cried because she had to share the trophy?
I remember that.
And you know why you'll never beat her at swimming? She's got big hands. My mum knows the lady whose sister sold her a pair of mittens once and said her hands are as big as plates. She said, you know, Millicent would be handy on a picnic because you wouldn't need to bring along any crockery. Anyone want another steak?
And that is the story of the Russian Cossacks. Now, Who would like to ask me a question about them?
How do you spell obnoxious, please, Miss Hodgson?
Obnoxious. Now, what is the main form of trade for the country of Russia? Max?
Cotton wool, Miss Hodgson.
No, Max. Anybody else? Avril?
How do you spell ogre?
O-G-R-E. Now, can we please focus on the matter at hand?
You're not saying much, Thesaurus. I guess it's because you're thinking about your apology.
Look closely at the board, you'll find it's already correct. To the correct answer.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Thesaurus. Why so glum? Oh, yeah, that's because you're about to find out how wrong I am, and how wrong you are.
I didn't say you were wrong all the time.
Did anybody write anything about me? It's okay. You can be truthful. Molly, did you write anything? Anybody? Nobody? I guess nobody had anything they wanted to say to me then.
I wrote down one or two things.
Okay.
You have to close your eyes and promise not to peep.
All closed. Wow, all this just for me.
You said it was okay for people to write good things down, didn't you?
Did I? I guess so. I'll start with this one. I think Millicent would be a better person if she stopped trying to be queen of everybody all the time. It's annoying for all the nice people. Also, she cheats in sport and in class and is noisy and has a bad temper. This one doesn't count. I know it's your writing, Avril. You don't really mean it.
Yes, I do.
Who wants to have a game of softball down on the oval?
You slurp when you drink. Plus, you've got hairy arms. Also, I don't like the way you walk or your tortoise. You are mean and rude. And sometimes you spit when you talk. Also, you stepped on my toe in 3rd grade and you never said you were sorry. You tell rotten jokes and your lunch smells.
Can you speak louder? I can't hear you.
Puffed up cowardy custard who always thinks she's right.
I almost forgot to give you this one.
Millicent is a dirty, rotten liar. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You pretended to say that my mum was smart and beautiful, but what you really meant to say was she was stupid. Molly heard you lie too.
I'm going home now. But it's only lunchtime.
Here, read this one. This is a good one. I'm sorry, Millicent. I'm
Sorry. I'm sorry, Millicent.
This world is a lonely place. It don't give you much.
Millicent is a friend.
You find something that,
3 cheers for Thesaurus. Hip hip.
that takes away misery. Next day it's gone, you're as lonely as can be.
Hi, Millicent. Remember when I pretended to win the spelling competition, except I really came 17th?
I don't remember that.
I felt bad when everyone found out that I lied. But once they forgot to be angry with me, they liked me again. And I'm sure it's the same with you and your friends. And even if they don't, you can always get a pet. Rabbits love you no matter what you've done. This used to be Snowflake's old blanket. And Here's a hanky, in case you want to cry.
I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
I don't know how the whole thing with Millicent got out of hand, but once it got started, there didn't seem to be any way of stopping it. Maybe it's better if people don't ask you what you think of them. And if they do, I'm pretty sure it's best not to say anything, because it doesn't matter how nice you say something about them. The only thing people change about themselves is their friends. Mainly you. I tried to think of what I could do to make Millicent like me again, but in the end, all I could think of doing was just to stand outside her house. I guess some things just fix themselves in their own time. Same thing with warts and boils and nosebleeds and water in your ears.
Day